Hello there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different from what I'm usually doing. Basically, this thing has kind of taken over my movie viewing experience. I never watch films on TV anymore. If it's on the telly, I will just turn the projector on and have it come through the projector rather than onto the TV. What prompted this video was a classic film from the 80s. That classic film was Tron. So this is out of my box set, and lovely slip. There we go. Now, you know, I've seen it a few times over the years on TV, and I want to show you how different it is from watching this on it's a 50-inch TV that I have. And I'm guessing the sort of distance I'm sat from the TV is about 2.5 meters. That's probably about the same distance that you are from your TVs. So they might be 50, 65 inch, maybe even slightly smaller. So I want to help you understand what advantage having a projector and a screen has, and what enjoyment you get from it. So yes, as I said, Tron from 1982, directed by Steven Lisberger, and it stars Jeff Bridges, Bruce Boxleitner and Cindy Morgan. It was way ahead of its time in the way it was shot and the techniques that were used to create the overall look of the film. Obviously there were computer graphics involved. There was some sort of regular animation, and I can imagine matte paintings involved. But most of the special effects shots were done on 70mm. This was to give them the best option that when they put the special effects down to 35mm, that they didn't get too grainy an image. Now it does look grainy, but that's fine. Most of the film has a very, very fine grain to it. And it looks really pleasing to the eye actually. But the difference of seeing it on the TV, a small screen, to my projector, which is still a small screen compared to a cinema, you know, which is 20, 30, 40 feet. My screen is only 106 inches. So that's 4 times the size of my TV. But what I found, some of the special effects on the TV, although they look great, they really showed up as like cartoonish because they were animated, but obviously they were computer generated. Some of them may have been actual animation, hand-drawn animation, but seeing them on the big screen like I did the other night, they really blended in with the rest of the image because of the grain. So blowing the image up really helped all the film look as one rather than being lots of different elements, and that is one of the biggest benefits of watching on a projector over a TV. The other one is you don't have glass in the way. This I have found to be a big player in the overall look of a picture. Now on a TV, the glass can actually give the image more contrast and perhaps a little bit more realism. But you've got to remember, most of what we watch came from film, so to have it look like film again, don't want the glass in the way. So a projector is far better to achieve this because you're literally projecting the image directly onto a screen, and that screen bounces it back to your eyes. So as you can see from these images, this Blu-ray, this is, you know, it's not on 4K yet, but this Blu-ray just absolutely looks spectacular. This is not upscaled, this is a native presentation. So one of the things I really noticed about watching Tron this time was just how well Tron Legacy takes from Tron, and as in the aesthetics and the look of the film. They are not as different as we first think. I certainly, when I used to watch it on the TV, and when I saw Tron Legacy for the first time, just how the colours and the way it looked look massively different. Now, of course, it should look different because the grid has been upgraded. Clue has upgraded the grid, hasn't he? So you know, it's like downloading a new version of Windows. It's much more improved. But actually, Tron Legacy seems to have taken a lot from the original film Tron, and I really liked how all of a sudden I didn't feel like I was watching two vastly different films. Blowing it up on the big screen, I think, really helped that. So the main thing that I really noticed about watching Tron on the screen was just the scale of the film. It really needs to be seen on a big screen to be fully appreciated. These images, they do not do justice to what I was watching at all. And as you can see from watching this on a TV, you know, it looks great. And yes, you can follow along and you can understand it all and you can enjoy a great film. But you really do not get the full scale of the film that's been presented to you until you blow it up onto a big screen. One of the things I really liked was, because by the time Flynn gets sucked into the computer by the laser, because they're inside a computer and there's all these programs and things running around and computers doing what computers do, you have all these light pulses, and I love the way the sound design reflects that. So you've got them bouncing around the sound field. The 5.1 mix done for this film is absolutely amazing, really impressive. The environment that you're looking at on screen, I really felt that I was in the environment, whether it was in the real world or in the computer world. So yeah, these pulses, the way they sort of zip around and a sound accompanies it, no matter whether it's a pulse or a light or whatever it is. But then you've got so many computer references. Now I'm not a computer geek, I don't really understand computers, but the age I am now and my life knowledge I have now, this time I was actually able to fully understand a lot of the references. So when Finn gets the recognizer, the broken recognizer, and of course it brings it back to life, and sadly we lose the character Ram. He's woken up by a flexing sort of star, and he asks it questions, and all he gets back from it is yes or no. And he realizes that this is a bit. And but we see some other fancy characters. You know, Cindy's character basically says, oh yes, they are operative data pushers, basically control programs, and you know, all sorts of random things. But I love the costumes. I just thought they were great. But another thing I noticed, and I may have noticed this before, you know, this is not something I've just noticed because it was on my big screen, but clearly it's much easier to see. But when David Warner's character Tron and Flynn get there escaping, David's character, he's looking at this big screen and he says, "Get them," and on the screen you can see a yellow Pac-Man chomping away, raring to get out and go and chase all his yellow dots that he does when you actually play the game. Yeah, what an astounding experience it was to watch this film on a big screen. I can only imagine it looked even more stunning when it was released back in the day. Seeing it on actual film with 100% the correct colours. I would say the colours for this Blu-ray are fairly accurate. The turquoise tealy colour you're seeing here is literally because it's really shrunk down, you know, on my phone. It didn't look anywhere near this saturated. There was no turquoise visible on my projector screen. So that is another big benefit to blowing these things up on the screen. If you've got a Blu-ray with a particular colour palette that you don't really like, when it's on your telly, it will not look like that when it's on your screen, because of the way you're stretching the image out. So you've got to remember that these films are colour graded on a small screen, a 32-inch screen, purely to be blown up onto a 20, 30, 40 foot screen, and actually blowing it up to 4 times the size of my telly is just enough to give me what I think the original intended look. Yeah, fantastic film. I now plan to watch the Tron Uprising series before I watch Tron Legacy. I do have Tron Legacy on 3D, but I will watch it in 2D first. And if I remember rightly, the disc changes aspect ratio from I think 235 to the IMAX scenes when it opens out to 178. Now, they wouldn't be the true aspect ratio if you'd seen it in true IMAX, but the fact that it goes from black bars top and bottom of your screen to fully opening out to fill your screen for certain scenes, I think is pretty cool. The same way that Christopher Nolan does with like Batman and other films he's done it. So yes, definitely not a I'm better than you because I've got a projector and, you know, I don't have an OLED TV, I don't have a 4K TV. I still have a plasma TV, but I just wanted to try and get across that I know I'm enjoying my films more than I ever was because I'm watching them on a big screen. I'm getting a much more natural presentation of the filmmaker's original intent. And I urge any of you, even if you don't have that much room, my friend Neil, who comes round, has literally just brought himself a projector, and it's, I think, on a shelf behind him, and he projects onto the other wall, and that's it. He's got rid of his TV, and that's the only thing he now uses to watch anything. I've yet to go around and experience it, but I'm looking forward to doing so. And that's, you know, also shows that you don't need to have a screen. Obviously, I originally intended to project onto the wall behind my TV before I put the TV on the wall, but I never got into getting a projector, and of course I got the TV and it's mounted on a bracket on the wall. That is why that wall is painted white and the others are magnolia. I know these things can be costly. You don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to get a really, really good picture. Got this in a sale, so that was good to start with. So I think it's like a £900 projector. We got it for nearly £500. The screen, I think, was also in the sale. Now I spent a little bit extra on that when I realised there wasn't much difference between a pull down one and my electric one. There was, and I figured I'm spending quite a bit of money anyway, why not spend a little bit more and just make it electric. I was perfectly happy to have gone up to my screen and pulled it down from the ceiling. Probably what I would have done is pulled it off the ceiling. So it's actually mounted on the wall. So you don't have to have a big sound system. Now, my sound system really helped with the 5.1 DTS HD Master audio mix that this film comes with. And again, the marrying up of the sound field and the big screen is really why I got such a fantastic experience with this film. I'd happily watch it on a telly if someone wanted to sit and watch it, but it will nowhere near be the same experience as what I had the other night. So anyway, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to boast or anything. I'm just trying to encourage you guys. I know you love your films. Do what you can to get a projector, get off these TVs and start enjoying films properly. So anyway, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up, please. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is, like I said, something slightly different for me. I do mainly sort of reviews and other things, but you can find that in all my playlists, what I do, or watch the channel trailer. Anyway, yeah, until the next video, take it easy.